It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
Good evening, sports fans. This is 2K Sports. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny Smith. And Brooklyn is where we'll be going just moments from now, as the Nets will be going up against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And for Cleveland, just one win over the last 7 games. They're not happy with how they're playing, looking to make amends tonight. And Kenny Atkinson, hired by Brooklyn back in 2016, another point guard turned coach. Shaq, he played professionally for over a decade.
Yeah, he played in Italy, Paisan. He played in France, Sebon. He played in Germany, Bratwurst. He played in Spain, Hola. You can make an excellent living playing abroad.
I didn't know you spoke so many languages, and you broke the barrier in one try. Wow. But he's been coaching since 2004, and as an assistant with the Hawks, he really showed he was ready.
All right, and now with the tip coming up shortly, time to send it to Kevin Harlan for the call.
Brooklyn, the home of the Nets, in a fine Eastern Conference affair here at Barclays Center. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Doris Burke. Also joining us from the sidelines, David Aldridge. And just a single game trip away from Cleveland for the Cavaliers.
Are you ready for excitement?
Guys, coming into this game, it's been 5 consecutive losses, so confidence obviously will be a key for them tonight.
Well, I think for Cleveland, they haven't been the kind of fierce competitors here in the early season that they were just last year. Not even close. Could this be a team about to take a giant step backward?
It might be a little bit early to make that kind of declaration, but one big hot streak, they'll be right back on top.
Now let's send it down to David Aldridge, standing by from the sidelines. David?
Well, guys, the fallout from the Nets trade with the Celtics in 2013, of course, is still being felt all around the league, and GMs are very reluctant now to surrender first-round picks unless they receive major league talent in return. Nobody out there wants to be embarrassed, Kevin, on or off the floor.
Yeah, some lean years in Brooklyn, partially as a result of that transaction. David, as always, thank you. Well, we're right around the halfway point of the season, Doris. This is often when we see the better teams really begin to shift gears and surge ahead.
Yeah, we certainly have a better feel for who the contenders might be. We still have a long way to go, obviously, and teams will have some lulls and then some high points, and you've got to be able to weather all of those things. But the reality is we have a greater understanding of who has the necessary offensive and defensive components to compete at a championship level.
Boys, nice and high.
And so off the tip, it's Brooklyn. And a look at the starters for the Cavaliers. Nance and Thompson are up front. Kyle Korver is out there with Sexton. And it's Johnson in at the small forward position. Here's LeVert, the good-looking shot from the wing. LeVert's got the scoreboard going with his first points of the night for the Nets. Now, here's Sexton. He's guarded by Russell. Sexton, the pass to Nance. On the wing, Johnson. Shoots over Carroll. And that one hits back iron. And Joe Allen will bring it up for Brooklyn. The Cavaliers beat them last time when these two teams met in Cleveland.
And when things started to go wrong for them in that game, boy, did they ever go wrong. They just could never get back on track in that game.
Stretches where they strung some good plays together, but then long stretches where nothing worked, no consistency.
Sexton's shot is good.
You know, Crafty just capitalizing there on the floater. Give Sexton room to shoot that shot, and he's going to take it.
Now here's Fareed. 8 points his last outing. Pass to Russell. Here's LeVert, guarded by Korver. Rebounded by Korver. Cleveland with the ball. Johnson finds Nance. That's in, coming off an assist from Johnson. Nance has got his first basket.
Well, Larry Nance, because of the athleticism and the burst off his feet, is incredible on the interior. Look out.
Here's Russell. It's tipped.
1 for 4 right now. A little sluggish coming out of the gate.
Here's Sexton, and it's sent back by Russell. And he recovers it. Second chance shot. But he stays with it. A floater. Here's Carroll. An 11-point game for him in the win against the Wizards in Washington, and it's blocked.
Larry Nance twice on the pipe says no, sir.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
Johnson against Carroll. Takes it from 10. Oh, and that one had the right spin on it, and it is good.
No, Johnson isn't just an outside shooter. This guy is a versatile, talented scorer in the paint.
They need a bucket in a big way here to regain some confidence.
And the first timeout called of the game for Brooklyn. They defeated the Wizards in their last game.
I mean, they were so impressive offensively. And when you do that, that can really help you on the road.
I think intensity is the key, right, Greg? When you play with energy on the offensive end, good things usually happen.
Carroll kicks to Allen. Now, here is Russell. A 26-point game for him in the win against the Wizards in Washington.
Yeah, Kev, he was a standout on the backboards that night and got a number of big rebounds.
And Carroll gets it to go.
When Russell gets his teammates involved, it makes this entire team better, and it'll make him more effective at the point position.
To the inside. And there's Korver on the assist by Sexton.
And really just unselfish basketball on the interior. That's the kind of pass a coach loves to see.
And first quarter, we're about 3.5 minutes in. Pass to LeVert. The kick out to Fareed. Deep 2 from Russell. Rebounded by Korver.
Oh, a lapse defensively, and they actually get away with it. Bad idea to leave him open consistently, though. What I love about Kyle Korver is he consistently does what he does at an incredibly high level. You're talking about one of the great shooters of his generation, and he was a key part of their turnaround from the early struggles they experienced.
Off the inbound. That's in, coming off the assist from Thompson. Korver's got his second bucket.
Kev, we know Korver is used to having a hand in his face, but how about that? He's at the cup. He's like, hey, I've seen this defense before.
Doris Korver was as efficient as he's always been, but also seemed to hit some big shots for the team.
Well, Korver just fits in so well with what they try to do offensively. Even at his age, he keeps defenders honest from both the 2- and 3-point territories.
2 on the clock. Russell passes to Carroll. A three-pointer, no good. The Cavaliers leading by 5. To the paint. Teardrop shot, and it's laid up and in by Thompson.
Well, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. They keep getting it in the paint and continue to score consistently.
LeVert the pass to Allen. He kicks to Russell. And again, it's the Nets missing.
He's trying to make something happen, but obviously been a tough quarter.
Outside Korver. Passes it to Johnson. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good.
Hey, we're not seeing the best quarter by this guy, and he's lost his feel a little bit.
There's the pass to Carroll. They need this one, and that's 2 points on the layup. Carroll's got his second basket of the night.
That's what they like him to do. Drive the bucket and attack. DeMarre Carroll's a handful when he's got that edge.
Outside Korver. Thompson dishes to Korver. Knocks it loose. Inside. Tries from the block. Out to Russell. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Stolen by Thompson. Outside Corver. Pass to Sexton. And the 3 off target.
And that one gives them a +5 rebound advantage, Kevin.
The shot's good.
Kevin, that's all about the quick first step of Karis LeVert. He gets to the rack in no time.
The Cavaliers leading by 3. Sexton with it. He's coming off a 22-point game against Toronto.
I love that he sacrificed his body over and over. His persistence in getting to the free throw line really paid off for them.
Now here's Johnson. And he can't bank that one in. Brooklyn's gone just 1 of 4 from 3-point range here in the first. Russell finds for Reed. 3-pointer. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. LeVert's got the game tied up here for the Nets.
Well, you cannot allow Karis LeVert to square up from deep. When he's in rhythm, he's going to knock down that shot with great consistency.
So timeout called here, the first for Cleveland. And now that that final debt Doris has been paid, it must feel like a huge relief for Nets fans to be done with that trade they made with Boston.
Well, you hate to say it, but trading for KG, Pierce, and Terry back in 2013 turned out to be a disaster for the Nets. Probably set the organization back a good 5 years. They must be thrilled to be out from under the weight of that mistake.
And the Cavaliers making a change here. Channing Frye's checked in for Nance. Osman comes in for Joe Johnson. Clarkson, he's checked in for Kyle Korver. And it's Hill in for Sexton. Here's Osman taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Off the mark and the drought continues. Brooklyn's gone 2 of 5 from 3-point land here in the first quarter. Napier with it. He's picked up by Hill. Here's Hollis Jefferson. They grabbed their own miss. And that won't go, missing the go-ahead bucket. And there's the foul. He'll go on Shabazz Napier. That's his first foul. Here's Clarkson. And he uses the glass on the layup. And the Cavaliers lead by 2.
Jordan Clarkson showing he's capable of finishing inside.
And for Brooklyn, they're shooting 33% here in the first quarter. Napier feeling it out a bit. Here's Dinwiddie. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Rebounded by Clarkson. Here's Hill. Whistle blows. Basket is good. So a chance here for a 3-point play.
The plan of attack is obvious. Get the ball inside and go strong to the rim.
Doris, you were a point guard in your playing days. What qualities did you look for in a backcourt mate, someone to play off you?
Well, I would say they were similar to what I looked for in all of my teammates. Certainly you wanted players who were 3-tool players, somebody who could put the ball on the floor, use their dribble well, somebody who could pass well, who could identify, okay, next player is open, I need to make this pass. And then the competitive attributes, Kevin. How hard did you play on a night-by-night basis? Did you prioritize winning over individual success? All the qualities I think you look for in a backcourt mate are what you would look for in any teammate.
Now here is Davis. He dishes it to Dinwiddie. Allen kicks to Napier. 6 to shoot. The Nets need to get a shot off here. Allen's shot is off. Cleveland leading by 5. Pass to Hill. Uncovered. And that one off the back of the rim and in. Hill's got 5 points so far.
Fruitful possession. Just doing what they can to extend the lead.
Well, this is a perfect example of how you want to run your offense. Disciplined but determined. Nice possession, Greg.
Here's Hollis Jefferson. No points in the game yet for him. Here's Dinwiddie. Offensive rebound, Nets. Allen kicks to Napier. To halt the run. Good for the basket. Starting off 1 for 1 with that shot.
The mid-range jumper is a high percentage shot for him, and when he's got that much room, forget about it.
Here's Clarkson. Gets it to go from 18 feet away. And the Cavaliers lead by 7.
Well, Jordan Clarkson specializes at capitalizing on what the defense gives him. Nicely done in the mid-range.
Ball's knocked loose. Passes to Hollis Jefferson. Kicks to Dinwiddie. In the corner, Napier with it. Over Hill. Score the basket, his second of 2 attempts. And here's Hill, who will bring it up for the Cleveland Cavaliers. The pass to Fry. Outside Hill. Back to Fry from downtown. Rebound Brooklyn.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Good, nice play there from Napier.
Boy, phenomenal decision-making from the young guard, Spencer Dinwiddie. Nicely done, putting it on time and on target.
Here's Hill, following the three-pointer by Brooklyn. And Thompson kicks to Osman. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Davis. That is his first foul of the game. .51 seconds left to play in the first. Here's Osman. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. 4 on the clock. Puts one up from 19. And that one is off. Great D that time from Davis. And they have certainly been looking locked in offensively.
They sure have. Staying aggressive and playing under control.
23 seconds left to play in the first quarter. Here's Osman. An amazing finish with a hand right in his face. And the Cavaliers lead by 4. Brooklyn's gone 3 of 7 from three-point range in the first quarter. Now here's Napier. He's guarded by Hill. And here's Napier. No good on the shot, a bit long that time. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Cavaliers on top, up 4. 2K Sports back in a moment here in Brooklyn. Ladies and gentlemen, your Brooklyn Nets. And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through one quarter of action so far. And from what you guys have seen so far from Cleveland, well, what's your take?
I think they play great D and not giving up anything easy early on.
You love that they're making the offense work, right? Making every single thing they try to do hard.
The Cavaliers leading by 4.
I think Tyronn Lue, as a coach, one of the best qualities he has is his ability to manage the stars. Boy, has he done a great job of blending talents in Cleveland.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. And so in the game for the Cavaliers, we've got Thompson. Hill is out there with Clarkson. Then there's Channing Frye, and it's Osman in at the 3, the small forward. And Doris for Ty Lue, he keeps the peace by keeping things fresh and new for his team.
Well, I like that last year he took the team to wine country in Napa in the middle of the season. Boy, that's a great way to bond as a team and break up the routine. Just one trick he's used to keep players at ease.
Tips it up. Allen with the rebound. Brooklyn's gone 3 of 7 tonight from three-point territory. Here's Dinwiddie. Good, and it's Napier with the assist that time. It's all knotted up.
I'll tell you, this guy excels at using his speed and his big body to cut inside. Nice job, Spencer Dinwiddie.
Clarkson passes to Fry. Now Clarkson He's coming off a 13-point game against Toronto.
I thought his physicality was crucial, too. You know, he kept the defense on their toes and repeatedly got to the free throw line.
And that one's good. Osman. Second quarter of basketball, just over a minute and a half played. Right wing. Dinwiddie kicks to Allen. Stolen by Thompson. Clarkson taking his time here. Down low. And Fry slams it in.
No, this is not something you always see from Channing Frye, right? We think of him as a shooter, but the attack mindset in that situation.
Nets trail by 4. To the inside. And another turnover here by Brooklyn. Now with this break, let's check out just how the rebounding has been divided up in this game between the front and backcourt for the Cavaliers.
Well, you love seeing the backcourt stay active and putting that speed and quickness to use on the glass. They've gotten a lot of rebounds and helping to do whatever they can for the win.
Now, here's Clarkson. And he can be counted on to put some points on the board every night. He's averaging right around 13.5 points a game. That shot is off. And Brooklyn will now go the other way with it. Here's Dinwiddie. He's covered by Clarkson. Over in the corner, Allen. 5 on the clock. Here's Napier. From outside, off the mark. The Cavaliers leading by 4. About 3 minutes played so far in the second quarter. And it's out of bounds to the Cavaliers as Cleveland retains possession. Kenneth Faried, he's checked in for Allen. And a switch here also for Cleveland. Nancy's checked in for Tristan Thompson. Hill looking it over. And it's Hill with the jam.
Well, George Hill drops the hammer near the cup. Nicely done.
For Brooklyn, they've gone 2 of 3 from the field here to open the second quarter. Napier with it. He's picked up by Hill. And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Just 5 on the clock. They could use a bucket. It's hauled in by Fry.
I think they could have gotten a better look right there. And he just a little over anxious, I think, to get that shot off. The defense not doing its job there. Left him wide open, and I'm sure he's kicking himself for not cashing in.
And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul. Doris, statistically, today's game is picked apart by so many different ways. But for you, what are the statistical areas that you are most interested in?
Well, I think one of the things that can be undervalued, particularly from the defensive side of the ball, are things like deflections or charges taken or even shots contested. And I say those things, Kevin, because deflections force an offense to restart. Charges taken gets a possession for your team. And shots contested affects, obviously, the field goal percentage of the team you're guarding. So it's all of those little defensive stats that you really have to track and be monitoring to understand the value that they have on winning.
Very interesting. So both teams making some changes here. And both free throws good for Napier.
Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers went to their 4th straight finals last season. To me, nothing short of remarkable. They had to fight their way through an improving Eastern Conference. And the reality is the Warriors have more talent than everybody else, and that's why they win the NBA Finals.
Fry. Count it. His second make in 4 attempts.
Really nice job by Fry. Gets hit, maintains his focus, able to complete the play.
Russell with it. He's against Fry, and plenty of contact on the shot. So 2 free throws coming up. And the Cavaliers were strong, Doris, but ultimately were overmatched by the Warriors.
And think about their journey to the finals, Kevin. In the East, they had 2 series go to 7 games. LeBron James, think about how many years he has played basketball so deep into June. He had played 82 games in the regular season for the first time in his career. And the bottom line was the Warriors entered the season as the prohibitive favorites and ultimately end up champions.
He misses the free throw. No good on the second free throw.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Korver gets a wide open look, sinks the triple. And now a 9-point Cavalier lead.
And good passing, setting up a lot of these buckets right now, Kevin. That's been the key.
Now here's Napier. 9 points in the game so far. Puts one up from 19. Offensive rebound, and it's put back in by Fareed.
Just in a perfect position to grab that rebound and then get the putback.
Russell against Korver. He kicks to Sexton. Fires it up. Rebounded by the Nets.
And something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Yeah, that's not a good example right there. You could have worked it around to get a better opportunity.
Now here's Napier. A 14-point game for him in the win against the Wizards in Washington.
And it wasn't only his scoring. The intensity on defense. He nabbed 3 steals that night.
The Cavaliers leading by 4. Sexton the pass to Johnson. Over to the left wing. Sexton with it. As you can see from his numbers, he's been a key component in their offense. He's averaging almost 18 points a game.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Here's Napier following the basket by Colin Sexton. Russell with a wide open look. And the Nets another 3.
Well, it's key that you've got to maintain concentration throughout the game. And D'Angelo Russell, nice job in the catch and shoot.
Johnson against Fareed. Sexton kicks to Korver. Fry passes to Johnson. Shoots over Carroll. They get a hand on it, but they get it back. Off the mark there with the 3-point shot.
Well, obviously it's been an off night for him offensively, but give his teammates credit. They've bailed him out. He's still got time to turn it around.
Here's Johnson. 17 points for him last game against Toronto. Over Fareed. That shot off. So Brooklyn will take it the other way.
On a pretty good day for them so far, his shooting has been one of the tough spots.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks.
Korver kicks to Sexton. To the middle. Here's Fry. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
Boy, the mid-range becomes slightly more difficult when the defense is as active as they are there. They're not going to get away with many mistakes like that on the defensive end. You got to get out on him right there.
Now here's Korver. Coming in off a 12-point game his last outing. Here's Sexton. And Sexton slams it in.
And using the quickness to his advantage there. Sexton getting some momentum behind him so he could put that one down.
And, of course, Colin Sexton. His college team once had to finish a game with only 3 players.
Yeah, he scored 40 that night. He almost led them to a victory. He loves to play under the bright lights, brings great energy and enthusiasm,
every night.
Now here's Corver, following the miss by Kenneth Fareed. Johnson outside. Pass to Sexton. Rebound, Brooklyn. The Oklahoma City Thunder will be in town for the next one. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. The Cavaliers leading by 3. Takes the 13-footer, and it's Russell with the rebound. Russell's got 4 rebounds in this game. Pass to Napier. Back to Russell. Lets the 3 fly. It's rebounded by Cleveland. Sexton's got rebound number 5 here tonight. And there's the foul. It'll go on Shabazz Napier. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
3rd foul of the half, and that's the risk you take leaving him out there.
Allen's checked in for Brooklyn. And Cleveland with a change here too. Thompson's checked in. And here's Corver from the arc. That's in, coming off the assist from Johnson. Johnson's got his 3rd assist on the night. And so it's Russell with it. He'll bring it up for Brooklyn. 6-point game. Pass to Carroll. From outside the arc. They get it back. Fareed. Allen finds Fareed. A putback. And it's Johnson with the rebound. Cleveland's gone 2 of 4 from 3-point range so far in the second quarter.
And close to making the defense pay for the lax coverage that time.
Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. Russell's got 5 points now this quarter.
Boy, I'll tell you, that is tremendous concentration from D'Angelo Russell. Defense draped all over him, and he still makes it.
Johnson down low. Fareed defending. Basket counts. Johnson's got his 2nd bucket tonight.
Not a lot of resistance on the inside, and they're taking full advantage.
To the paint and taken away by Johnson. On the wing, Nance. He's coming off a 13-point game against Toronto.
And equally spent as much energy on his D. I mean, 4 steals kind of tell the story.
I'll tell you, he's been dry from 3-point range in the second quarter after hitting one in the first.
So for the Nets, Ed Davis is checked in for Reed. Rondé Hollis-Jefferson comes in for Damari Carroll. And Dinwiddie subbed in for LeVert. Then for the Cavaliers, Cedi Osman, he's checked in for Johnson. Clarkson comes in for Kyle Korver. And George Hills subbed in for Sexton. Now here's Thompson. Whoops, anticipated the pass. Turnover. Here's Russell. He scores for only his 3rd time tonight. Now 3 for 10, taking a climb out of the hole.
You know, rough start for him, but he seems to have turned the corner here in the second period.
Now the pass to Hill. Back to Clarkson from past the arc. Nailed from 3-point land. Clarkson's got 7 points in the game.
Well, give Jordan Clarkson a ton of credit. He has worked tirelessly on this shot.
And the foul on Larry Nance Jr. That's foul number 2 for him.
Guys, that's number 2 on him. And they do not need him to sit right away. But one more foul before the half, and he'll be headed to the bench.
There's 42 seconds left to play in the first half. Hollis-Jefferson passes to Davis. Nice ball movement by Brooklyn. Shot clock at 6. A floater.
A terrific job, Thompson, relying on his length to get his arms up and challenge the shot. Well, he doesn't quit on that play. Just stays with it and gets some easy points on the putback. That's nice.
Now, here's Clarkson. He has 7. There's 10 seconds left in the second quarter. Over in the corner, Osman. That 3 off the mark. And some good action through the first 2 quarters as we reach halftime. Cavaliers lead by 5. And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thanks a lot, Kevin. Kyle, impressive first half. You guys seemed in control. I figure you're pleased with the team's performance so far.
Yeah, I thought we let up some in the second quarter, though. We just got to keep on playing our game, keep on trusting the system, and, we're getting great shots. Got to keep it up.
Kyle, thanks a lot. Back to you, Kevin.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hi again, everyone. I'm Ernie Johnson, sitting alongside the Diesel and the Jet. Welcome to the halftime show on 2K Sports. The first quarter for the Cavaliers was fairly even. At the end of the period, they held a 4-point lead. For the Cavaliers, Kenny, what's your take?
Well, they've been rewarded for dumping the ball inside, keeping the defense honest. You have to mix it up. A little bit outside, a little bit inside. Now that separates teams.
And over to the big fella, your thoughts on the Nets.
They haven't shot the ball very well. Not nearly enough quality looks. Right now, this game could easily come down to shot selection and how they run their offense. They need to keep the ball moving and generate better looks.
And that's a wrap for our halftime show. The third quarter just about to get started.
Welcome back as we get a beautiful aerial view of the Williamsburg Bridge connecting Manhattan and Brooklyn. And in that first half, we saw a pretty tight battle. We'll soon find out what sort of adjustments were discussed during the half. Cleveland leading by 5.
Well, the Cleveland Cavaliers last year won by virtue of their offense. There were times when they're making that three-point shot that they simply could overwhelm people. And let's remember, they had LeBron James on their roster as well. And when you've got LeBron, you've got a chance.
LeVert and Carroll are the wingmen. Kenneth Faried is out there with Allen, and it's Russell in at the point guard position. So that's the lineup for Brooklyn. Johnson surveying the floor. Pass to Sexton. Fires from deep. That one falls coming off Johnson's feet. Johnson's got 4 assists in the game. And with the Cavs and their offense last year, Doris, they would attack from outside.
Well, you think back, LeBron would attract so much attention that shooters would get all the space necessary to knock down shots. It's why the team was 4th in the NBA in percentage of shots attempted beyond the arc. When you live by the 3, you die by the 3. But more often than not, it has worked out well for the Cavs.
Getting the half off to a good start here already with some penetration.
I got to believe that's something they talked about during the break, getting him some good looks in the paint right away.
Now, here's Sexton. He's got 9. And D'Angelo Russell picks up the foul. That's his first foul. And Nance kicks to Johnson.
The defensive versatility of DeMarre Carroll is one of my favorite things. He can guard virtually every position on the floor, Kevin.
And that's a foul called on Colin Sexton. That is his first foul of the game. And we're just about a minute and a half into the third quarter of basketball. And here's Carroll. 5 points in the game. Kicks it to Russell. Shot clock at 3. Launches it. Gets the three-pointer to fall. Russell's got 10.
That's a nuanced understanding of pick-and-roll play. D'Angelo Russell, nicely done.
2 minutes into the second half of play now. Now Sexton unloads. And he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. Sexton's got 5 points in the quarter. Nets trail by 5. Pass to Russell. Not quite 2.5 minutes played here in the second half. Up and in on the way up. 12 points for him.
That's 3 of 4 here to start the half.
Sexton kicks to Corver. Passes it to Nance. Back to Corver. Lets it go from deep. Kenneth Faried pulls it in. The Nets have gone 3 of 4 so far in the third quarter from the field. Pretty good start to the half. Here's LeVert. He's got 14. Lets a floater go. Nance with some nice D. The Cavaliers leading by 3. Here's Sexton. No good on the 3. And it's Carroll with the ball for Brooklyn. Since halftime, they've only allowed 5 points. In the third quarter with just over 3.5 minutes off the clock. The pass to LeVert. For the tie. Nets working now with a new shot clock. Outside Russell. 5 to shoot. The jumper from the free throw line is good. Russell's got 7 points here in this quarter.
Well, to me, this is where D'Angelo Russell distinguishes himself. He understands that when he can score it, he's going to be aggressive.
Timeout called the Cavaliers.
Well, I think you think of the Brooklyn Nets, and though there isn't a ton of wins, I do think you see this team moving in the right direction. Yes, they only had 28 wins, finished 12th overall. But the reality is, on a night-by-night basis, this team gives great effort in the face of adversity.
And the Nets making a change here. Napier's checked in. Channing Frye's checked in for the Cavaliers.
And barely anyone in the area, and still he whiffs on the bunny.
Up top, Russell. For the lead. Offensive rebound, Nets.
What anticipation by Channing Frye. Measures it up and sends it back.
And boy, have they been hitting the backboard in this game or what? Kind of surprising it's such a tight game.
And the Nets win total last year impressive given the injuries.
Well, Jeremy Lin and D'Angelo Russell's injuries obviously made things difficult, Kevin. But despite it all, the Nets were more competitive than they've been the last few seasons. To me, this is an organization that has some things it can build on.
And he gets it to go as they call the foul. He's on his way to the line for one more.
Well, he just keeps rolling right now. What a terrific quarter for him on the offensive end.
The Cavaliers have gone 1 for 1, making their previous attempt at the line.
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. One shot.
And Colin Sexton, when it comes to scoring, the man shows you a little bit of everything.
Loves to drive it, loves to attack inside, improving his consistency from range. But what I love about him is the aggressiveness. This guy is always in attack mode.
Ooh, with a player this hot, I don't see their lead going anywhere.
Corver against Russell. Corver finds Frye. Here's Sexton. Nice concentration to hit the double clutch layup. Sexton's got 10 points in just the second half. Inside, it's stolen by Nance. Now here's Corver. 10 points for him. Inside. Kicks it out to Johnson. That's tipped. Wow, way off on that one. Brooklyn's gone 2 of 3 when they ventured outside the arc in the third quarter. To the inside. Carroll passes to Fareed. Lays it up off the glass. And the Nets lead by 1. Guys, we're not through 3 quarters of play, but 6 lead changes already in this one.
Yeah, competitive, and I think we all can agree that we thought this would be the type of game that would come down to the end.
Now here's Korver, and looking at his production, he averages a little more than 7 points a game. The shot by Sexton, no good. For Brooklyn, they've gone 7 of 12 from the floor since coming out of the break. Pass to LeVert, and taken away by Johnson. Pass to Sexton. Cleveland moving the ball around. And Nance kicks to Fry. Over Fareed. Fry, good. Fry's got his 3rd bucket of the night.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. Well, you just have to admire the job that this Nets front office has done to improve the roster.
Well, there's no doubt, Kevin, they have taken on bad contracts in an attempt to gather assets. They have found talents like Spencer Dinwiddie, who were passed up by other teams. So even though they didn't have a ton to work with, the team has kept pace with their improvement.
Looking at who's out there now for the Cavaliers. Cedi Osman, he's checked in for Johnson. Clarkson comes in for Kyle Korver. And George Hill's subbed in for Sexton. And so it's Cleveland with it, following the 3-pointer by Brooklyn. Outside Hill. From 11 feet away, a rebound by the Nets. Here's Hollis Jefferson. No points in the game yet for him. To the paint. Here's Davis. Basket is good. He'll get a chance for one more at the line.
Boy, what a drastic change going from so sound defensively in the first half to not close to that in the second.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight. That one misses for Davis. And this last offseason, one that every Cleveland fan dreaded. LeBron hitting free agency. And Doris, they were right to be worried.
And now the challenge for the Cavs organization is replacing a player of LeBron's magnitude. This is a group that still has talent, but it certainly has to think about rebuilding. It was an incredible second stint for LeBron in Cleveland, but the Cavs will surely be a whole new team without him.
Hill has the open look, and another 3 for Cleveland.
George Hill, such an accurate shooter in catch-and-shoot situations. He's always ready to let it fly.
Now here's Napier. He's covered closely. Outside Hill. To the middle. Here's Fry. Dinwiddie with the rebound.
The only way he doesn't finish is if the defense gets in his face. Nice job.
He feeds it to Napier. Davis kicks to Dinwiddie. Floats one up to the left wing. Carroll, no one around him. And again, no good by Brooklyn. Cleveland's gotten the 3-pointer to fall to the tune of 50% here in the third quarter. They've made 3 of 6. Now here's Napier. He's guarded by Hill. Napier with it. No good. Shot missing. Outside Hill. The 3. That's no good. It's his second miss. He's made 4. Here's Hollis Jefferson. Still looking for his first bucket in this one. Out left to the wing. Here's Dinwiddie. And the foul on Larry Nance Jr. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Tristan Thompson, he's checked in for the Cavaliers. Here's Hollis Jefferson. Looking at his numbers, he averages a bit over 9 points a game.
And that's really a function of the offense not working as it should.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not how you capitalize on the offensive end. You simply have to be more patient.
Passes it to Thompson. Dishes to Hill. 6 on the shot clock. That one wide left. Brooklyn trailing. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Hill.
And checking out the numbers for Tristan Thompson, this past month he's really set himself apart, averaging about 7 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists. And this is the kind of strong, steady play you like to see. He's earning his keep and helping them win games.
I think they need more consistency from him, and they're getting it. Look for this to continue. I love it.
Oh, an aggressive move and fantastic finish.
Trying to send a message with that slam, I think. Johnson kicks to Clarkson. The three. And the shot clock expires. 24-second violation. Now we get a chance to check out the standings out east. Already we are in December. You take a look at the Nets. Right now they're in 7th in the conference, looking to build on their record. And checking out Cleveland, 4 games back.
And right now for the Nets, they talked a lot in the preseason about how they wanted to bounce back from last year's disappointment. So far, they look to be on track to do just that.
The Nets working the ball around now. It's Davis on the wing. Outside, Russell. Dinwiddie kicks to Allen. It's stolen by Hill. And oh, here we go. Hill, nobody back. Count that one.
Well, he's kept them in balance tonight. This guy's shooting has put them in front.
He's gone 1 of 1 in the game so far from the line.
Gotta admire what he's been able to do at the free throw line this season. How about over 90%?
Mind the lanes. Mind the lanes. 1 shot.
What a pickup George Hill is. This guy's such a capable player on both ends. Smart, intelligent, lightning-quick reflexes by the point guard.
Now, here is Russell. He's got 19. Dinwiddie's shot is off.
And you know what? He's just not on his game, no doubt about it. Their deficit isn't totally on him, but he has not been an asset for his team.
Hill fires. Plenty of room to knock down the shot. And now a 5-point Cavalier lead.
Yeah, Thompson, a very good passer for a player at his position. Knows where everyone is heading.
Russell against Hill. Russell dishes to Davis. Here's Dinwiddie. Nice fake there to create the shot, but it's no good. We'll return shortly. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
Yeah, an easy choice tonight. Look at the precision on this pass. Put it on a platter for him.
And when you're the beneficiary of a pass that good, you better deliver, and he did just that.
We've reached the 4th quarter, and what has been a very competitive game should be an exciting finish. Nets trail by 5. And so in the game for the Cavaliers, they've got Johnson. Jordan Clarkson is out there with George Hill. Then there's Tristan Thompson, and it's Osman in at the 3 spot. And here's Clarkson. He brings it up for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Here's Osman. Hollis Jefferson with the rebound. Hollis Jefferson's got 5 rebounds tonight.
I'll tell you, with the struggle he has had today, he probably won't be their #1 option as they look to close this game out. Well, that's an example of two teammates on a different page. They're both looking at each other like, hey, what was going on there?
Clarkson finds Thompson. Outside Hill. Knocked loose. And here's Russell. From deep. Drills it from outside. Russell's got it all tied up now for the Nets.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
We've played just over 1 minute here in the fourth quarter. Now Clarkson down low. Thompson. And Allen with the block. And he gets it back. And it's Osman missing.
I'll tell you, he's had a tough night. And if you're going to shake out of a slump, he's not going to do it with those kinds of shots.
Dinwiddie passes to Russell. Johnson against Davis. It's Hollis Jefferson, top of the key. Just 5 to shoot. Floats one, and Russell with the lay-in. Russell's got 5 points in the quarter.
Simply crushing it right now. So much more accurate in the second half than he was in the first.
Second minute off the clock now in the fourth. Now, here's Clarkson. Here's Osman. And another miss by Cleveland.
Well, you see the struggles he's having getting anything to go.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously cold right now, but he's trying to find that rhythm. You've got to keep working.
Here's Dinwiddie. Over Hill. Trying to get open is Davis. Thompson with the rebound. Thompson's got rebound number 8 here tonight in the game. The pass to Osman. And over 2.5 minutes in the books here in the fourth. For 3, Hill. No good, shot missing. The Nets go the other way with it. Pass to Dinwiddie. Allen outside. Pass to Russell. From deep three-point range. It's rebounded by Cleveland. Here's Osman. They need this. Sinks the three-pointer.
It took a long time for him to get that first triple. Let's see now, though, if he can get going.
Brooklyn's gone 1 of 2 from three-point range here in the fourth. Here's Dinwiddie. Outside Russell. Inside, Allen kicks to Davis. Here's Dinwiddie, and right through it goes. And the Nets lead by 1. And guys, here in the fourth quarter, still a close game.
Instant classic, fellas. This one could come right down to the last shot.
Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, a bit unorthodox, Doris, in the way he attacks the hoop.
Right, he doesn't ever, Kevin, seem to go at the rim in a straightforward fashion. This guy is great at stopping and starting and zigzagging his way to the cup.
Some changes for Brooklyn. Fareed's checked in for Davis. And it's LeVert in for Dinwiddie. Then for the Cavaliers, Larry Nance is checked in for Osman. Korver comes in for Hill. And it's Sexton in for Jordan Clarkson. All right, let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, guys, over the break, I was able to listen to Tyronn Lue's huddle. With this game in the balance, he really came after his guys. He said, this is our time. Right now, be in the moment with each other. Do your job, and I promise you we'll win this game. Back to you.
Here's LeVert after Joe Johnson's score. LeVert the pass to Fareed. It's rebounded by Cleveland. Nance has got his 4th rebound in this one. Johnson finds Korver. Some nice passing by Cleveland here. Sexton with it. He's picked up by Russell. That one drops for him. And now it's a 3-point Cavalier lead.
Sexton has to just keep developing his court awareness. You want to see more passing from him.
Bounce pass Russell. 3-pointer. A nice shot by LeVert. LeVert's got it all tied up now for Brooklyn.
Watch out. Now that he's got his first 3 of the half, there might be more in store.
Johnson with it. He kicks it to Sexton. With some arc. Johnson, that's for 2. And Cleveland again with the bucket.
Wow, hats off to him for making that one. You can't find a much tougher shot than that.
Passes it to Hollis Jefferson. Back to Russell. Down low. Hollis Jefferson can't hit.
And really, they had the play all set up there, and then it just breaks down.
I can't believe they didn't pull that one off. Everything seemed there. They've got to be upset with themselves.
So it's Brooklyn now after the miss from Joe Johnson. They get it again. Goes straight through the defender for the dunk. Draws the foul. He'll go to the line. That one on Nance.
And guys, isn't it great to see a player who works that hard on the glass at both ends?
Well said, G. That's the way he has built, his reputation. Grinding away 100% effort all the time.
So much tenacity. Really tries to outwork everyone around him.
And they now lead as the free throw drops for him. And the Cavaliers were so good at so many things last season, Doris, but the defense had lapses.
Well, you could go a step further and say the defense was poor over the last couple of years for the Cavaliers. When you look at the metrics, they were bottom 3 in a lot of those metrics. This is a team that relied on its offense to win games. They made no secret about that.
And here's Russell after Kyle Korver hitting the 3. Allen passes to LeVert. Carroll up top. Tipped away. It's stolen by Nance. They're running. Stops. Pops. Rebounded by Fareed. Fareed's got 12 rebounds here tonight. Big time effort. Carroll with the 3. Good on the 3-point shot. And the Nets lead by 1.
I think Carroll goes through stretches where he shoots better from 3-point range than from inside the arc. What a dead eye right now.
Thompson lays it up and in off the pretty assist. Time running low, guys, and somebody has got to win this one.
Yeah, well, who knows? We might need overtime in this one. It's been that kind of a game.
Now, here is Russell. To the middle, here's LeVert. Good, and it's Russell picking up the assist. Russell's got his 7th assist in the game.
At 6'7", Karis LeVert knows how to use that size, especially inside. He knows how to handle himself in there.
Here's Johnson. To the paint. And the pass to Sexton. And Thompson kicks to Korver. Here's Sexton. Rebounded by the Nets. Fareed's got rebound number 13 for him here tonight. Russell with it. Guarded now by Sexton. Carroll against Johnson. Now here's Carroll. Guarded closer. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim. The Cavaliers trailing. Johnson outside. To the right side. Allen against Thompson. 5 to shoot. Cleveland needs to get a shot off here. Poked away. Stolen by Fareed. To the inside. And slam dunk by Allen.
Yeah, how about the sharp steal and then run out? It looks like they're ready to put the hammer down.
Well, we've been waiting for one of these teams, Greg, to pull away. Maybe that'll be a springboard for them.
Yeah, a big change of possession in a tight ball game. We'll see if they've seized the momentum.
Johnson can't hit.
And they've controlled the glass throughout this game, but it's still close.
And here's Carroll. Pass to LeVert. Nance comes with the double team. The The shot by Carroll, no good. The Cavaliers trail by 3. They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Johnson dishes to Korver. Now here's Sexton. He's guarded by Russell. Clock at 6. They could use a bucket. Offensive rebound. Johnson, that's for 2. Drops one in from the wing.
Joe Johnson has been in this spot before, and he's delivered just like there.
Here's LeVert, guarded by Korver. Fareed the pass to LeVert. Now Carroll.
2 minutes.
Here's the teardrop. Fareed finds Carroll. This one for 3. He can't get that one to fall. Johnson with the defensive effort. Korver passes to Nance. Sexton with it. Russell's there to take the lead, and it's sent back by Russell, and he's able to get it back, and the basket is good. .127 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Kicks it to Allen. Good D by Thompson.
Allowing no space for the shooter to get comfortable. Just terrific defense.
Well, we call that crowding the shooter, right? You don't give up an inch. It's just perfect defense.
Now, here's Sexton. Feeds it to Nance. Clock at 6. Johnson against Carroll. Here's Nance. Sinks it.
Fearless, decisive, on point.
Which is exactly what you have to be, especially when your team needs a bucket.
Timeout called, the Nets. They're down by 3. 51 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Colin Sexton.
And I love that it's been a hard-charging performance. Jump shots have been kind of an afterthought. His main goal has been to attack the rim and put the D in some tough spots and also finishing strong.
LeVert the pass to Russell.
That's where Thompson's length comes into play. You think you can sneak a shot over him, but he'll swat it right back at you.
Now, here's Sexton. Defense right on him. Nice D from Russell.
Boy, a kickout's probably a better option when the defense is swarming around like that.
Stolen by Thompson. And now they decide to foul intentionally. And so it's Thompson with it. He'll bring it up for Cleveland. Their biggest lead of the game was 9.
Well, Russell is just absolutely fearless. He'll be the hero or the GOAT in that instance. Yes, sir, hero.
And now we've got the intentional foul.
Had to foul, and on that occasion to stop the clock. That's the enemy in this situation.
Gentlemen, truth shot. Roof shot.
So the first one drops, and that will put them up by 2.
Well, Kyle Korver has made a living in this league because he is a dead-eye shooter. I just love that he is still giving defenses fits, Kev.
So he goes 2 for 2 at the line, and it's a 3-point game.
Big-time free throws there. That could be the difference. It forces them now into a 3-point attempt.
Now a timeout called by Brooklyn. They're trailing by 3. 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
And right now, you can go for the 2 and then a quick foul or go for the home run.
Well, you've got to be smart regardless of what you choose to do. You shouldn't just heave the 3 if it's not there. Let's see what happens.
Here's Russell. And he could not get that one to go. A lot of contact, and he'll go to the line for 2. It's going to go on Tristan Thompson.
I'll tell you, proving how dangerous he can be inside. D'Angelo Russell forcing the defense to make a commitment.
2 shots.
It's the first, and that brings them within 2 here.
What we know about D'Angelo Russell is this guy is a dynamic, aggressive scorer. The key is he's got to extend his minutes playing under control. If he does that, lights out.
So he gets them both.
Boy, you have to love his poise at the free throw line. He's never rattled, no matter how much pressure he might be under.
They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul.
No choice but to foul there, but he's probably the last guy you want to see on the line.
Gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that will put them up by 2. And so he drops them both. It's a 3-point game. 11 seconds left here in the 4th quarter. Carroll kicks to Allen. Outside, Russell. The 3 won't fall. And an intentional foul there stops the clock.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
First free throw is good, and that gives them a 4-point cushion.
And that's one of those guys who just tends to live at the line. Sexton's working hard to improve his consistency there.
And so he drops them both. It's a 5-point game.
Boy, now it's just a matter of getting to that final whistle. Those free throws should wrap this up.
So we see the Cavaliers get the win here. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother them. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were the better team.
Well said. And that's going to do it tonight, folks, for our broadcast. For Doris Burke, David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, and the rest of our terrific 2K Sports crew, this is Kevin Harlan saying thanks for watching. So long.